Good evening, you lovely lot. What's happening? Just like that. There's a crazy echo going on. That's not me. Well, I've just muted two people in the four of us. That is such a great opening. I love it. Anything can happen when you're alive, and that is why I like it a lot. Okay, bear with me a second. Now, have we fixed it? Four of us. That is such a great opening. I think it's Ben. Ben's the issue. There's something happening with Ben's audio. That, ladies and gents, is the guilty party in this mess up. I knew there would be one. I can hear Jen laughing downstairs. So, good evening, ladies and gents. We're just waiting for Ben to have a little tweak in what is happening. But let's cross over. Let me introduce you to the one and only Mr. Will.
Hey, how are you?
Mate, introduce yourself.
Yeah, so I'm Will of Will and Lelly. We've been vlogging our Florida trips ever since 2014. We've also been to California once, and so we just film our trips abroad and share it on YouTube.
Mate, you do such a great job. Thank you ever so much. Now, before we get over to Ben, you may have noticed in the top right corner of your screen, someone's been away from YouTube, but ladies and gents, please give him a very big warm welcome for the one and only legend, Gareth, everyone. How you doing, bud?
Legend's a bit of a steep word there, Del. But yeah,
no, mate,
pretty good. Thank you very much. It's nice to be back. Nice to be invited to be part of something like this. So thank you very much.
Mate, you are ever so welcome. Thank you for coming on, and it's great to have everyone here. We're gonna risk it now. We're gonna turn Ben's mic on. You ready? Okay, there's always one. How you doing, bud? Oh,
how's that?
Yes, there you go. See, that's twice in a row.
Oh, sorry, dude. That's my fault. I might have left the browser open with the video playing.
And you all thought it was me. Jen shouting up.
No.
What are you doing?
Hands up. It was me. It's my fault.
This guy beneath us. But ladies and gents, as we can see, Gareth is here, Will is here, and Adventures with Zach is here, and we are going to be talking about how we save for Florida. So let's get the nice little banner up there. In fact, like, gents, who wants to take it first? How do you save for Florida?
Oh, well, as I was nominated, I'll go first. So if we roll the clock back to pre-2014, there's no way that we could possibly afford to go to Florida. Me and Leslie, we both used to ride motorbikes. We were part of a motorbike club, and we used to go motorbiking and rallying, as they called it, where you'd pitch a tent in a field and you'd go partying most weekends. And that had to change. So Leslie has a motorbike accident, and the motorbike was written off, and we decided not to buy another one. And then we decided to put money into Florida. So a lot of changes happened then, because we was away from the motorbike scene and we was away from the partying scene. So we stopped going out at weekends, and obviously we've got our dogs. We take the dogs for a walk, and we try to do things that doesn't quite necessarily involve money. And this is where you come to the, should I go there and have a takeaway, or should I go to Florida? And you sort of do that with everything. And that was the first step to us sort of saving, is asking yourself, what would I rather? Not doing this here back in the UK, or a weekend away or something like that, or shopping at Lidl, Aldi's instead of Sainsbury's and Tesco's. And you keep asking yourself, would I rather do that, or would I rather go to Florida? So that's my first little Florida tip.
Mate, I didn't know you was in a motorcycle club. See, you learned something new.
We was, yeah.
That's
Sons
really
of
cool.
Anarchy.
Yeah. I love that show. I love that show. How do we save for Florida? Well, pretty much doing similar to your good self, really. We make all I can hear is Jen laughing downstairs. I need to close this door. Whatever's happening in the chat, I can hear her laughing.
Let me just say hi, Jen downstairs.
She's just giggling away. I think it's the alcohol. In fact, before I sort of say about how we sort of save for Florida, Ben, what do you reckon, mate? Talk to us.
Well, I think pretty much all of us sound pretty similar at the start of it. It's takeaways, isn't it? We all seem to definitely indulge in a takeaway or two. So that's the first one to cut out. Obviously, extra work. Spent a lot of 2018 and 2019 working 6 days a week just to get the extra money in. And the way I looked at it is if you're working, you're not spending. So you're almost saving double. So that was one thing that we used to do. Another one is, because I've been going with my parents for quite a while as well on separate trips, they always had a thing from when we were young. It was called a leisure pleasure pot. So it was every week you put some money in, usually £5-10 a week, and then you'd build that up and that'd cover all your food and your shopping when you're out there. So you wasn't dipping into your savings straight away for that.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, that's very true. It's hard to save for Florida. And in fact, basically, most of us, probably in the chat even, would have had a trip booked this year, which has now been postponed. So there's a real not unique, but there's an opportunity here to plus a holiday or save some money for the next holiday. So like Jen and I, for example, if we went in this May, would have been there right now, we were staying off-site. So we're going to use this time that we have to Disney Plus the holiday. So we're going to stay on-site. And ways that we're doing that, again, takeaways is the big thing. But in normal circumstances, before COVID hit, we're not massive party animals. We don't go out every single weekend just spending money, raving it up or anything like that. Yes, we're guilty of the takeaways, but any loose change that we have money pots, or we like to do car boot sales. So it's finding those little tips in how you can just save your pennies sort of there, within each month. But Gareth, talk to us, bud. What sort of, how do you save for Florida? How do you guys do it?
Well, we've technically only been twice now, so we've been kind of lucky and fortunate enough that the first trip was kind of funded for us by my father-in-law. The second trip we've kind of started building towards, and we take about 12 months really to kind of build the trip up. Laura kind of gives me her expectations for the trip, and then we have the villa from the first trip that we now pay for the day we land. Nice. Because we've built that relationship with the villa, the guy. The flights and everything, I will say that we normally book a package, and the package is can be paid for monthly. So we give ourselves 12 months in advance, and then we start kind of paying off every month, just budgeting towards it as success. We don't really change much about what we do every month, because every year we're trying to book a holiday in advance. So we're already planning our 2022 holiday, for example. 2020 holiday is booked and paid for. We're still waiting to kind of hear what's going on. And our 2021 is also deposited and ready to go. So we're kind of looking now to save towards 2021. But if 2020 cancels, we'll use that funds to support 2021 and do exactly as you said. We'll Disney Plus it basically. So
yeah. And that's right. It's like, for us, on this trip, we were staying at, real value places just because we wanted to be back in Florida. But now we've got this huge, time gap now. It's like, you go through so many sacrifices. You wait for so long to get back over to Florida. So we're in the camp of save, make it work, whatever it takes kind of thing. So like I said earlier, the money pots, less takeaways, not doing so many things. I know a lot of our pals have bought hot tubs or expensive barbecues. I'm not hinting at anyone, absolutely not hinting at anyone. But here's something I was going to ask or throw out there. Is the Disney dining plan worth it? Is that a way that you can save money by having a dining plan?
I mean, we've never had the Disney dining plan. From what I understand, it probably wouldn't suit us. We like to eat ad hoc and just kind of as we go and when we need. We eat breakfast in our villa because we can go to Walmart and buy whatever we wish. So for us as a, just a couple, I don't think the dining plan is worth it for us.
Yeah.
But I know others it suits, and I'm not, each to their own.
Yeah.
But for me and Laura, it just doesn't kind of sit with us.
Yeah. I think we only ever book dining plan whenever it's advertised as free or part of the Virgin package. There are some who will say, Disney dining isn't free. You end up paying full price for the room. But for us, it's about knowing what all of the upfront cost is. So if we know that that's taken care of, it makes our life a lot easier. But I think Ben and Will, both of you guys stay off-site.
Yeah.
Is that is it cheaper for you guys to do it that way?
I've never done on-site, so I wouldn't be able to compare for us directly with it. But it's more so the freedom that you can eat what you want when you want. Enjoy going to the supermarkets and trying different takeout places along the roads that are there. Which tend to be along the 192 more than the I4. We've got Texas Roadhouse and a few others up there that really enjoy going to. So yeah, I can't really compare direct with the Disney dining plan.
No worries, man. Well, that's an honest thing. I'm going to surprise Mr. Will. How did you find it, bud?
Yeah. So we stayed at Coronado Springs one year, and we got the free Disney dining. We actually paid to upgrade to the middle tier, which is the one where you get the table service and the quick service and 2 snacks. So the free Disney dining, as I understand it, doesn't give you the table service, but you have to then upgrade for that. And as Del, you pointed out a minute ago, you probably pay the full room rate to get the free Disney dining. But ultimately, when you work it out, the Disney dining is fantastic. It is great. You're going to come back home at least a stone heavier, which is great. But what you do find yourself doing is when you go to a restaurant, you find yourselves looking at the steak. And normally when you go to a restaurant and you're paying for it, you think, I'm going to be a bit healthy and, might share a starter and then we'll both have a main or something. But no, it's like, we're both having a starter, we're both having T-bone steak and the works. But you do have to try and get the most expensive or the higher end items on there to get your money's worth. I'm not knocking it. It's great. And when the deals are in, if the price is right, we'll book it. Yeah,
absolutely. And I'm going to be really honest, mate. As I was listening to you, a comment came in and it massively, I had to double take it. I'll leave it on the screen just for a moment. And it's like, hang on a minute. I knew that would make you especially where it's from. One thing I wanted to say as well is with Virgin, when you guys go to book it as a package deal, things like the V room, I know that's a tricky subject right now with what's happening at Gatwick, but most people will pay for the V room, and I think it's a great addition to your holiday. Definitely agree with you. But if you speak to them on the phone and you just ask them, can they include it without you paying extra into your package? And so far, Jen and I have not paid for the V room. We've just asked, and they've done it. So I guess the point I'm trying to make is booking package holidays, there's always room for negotiation in there to save some money. So just ask if you can have that included, what is included, etc. So I think that's a great little tip there.
I think something as well with how do you save for Florida could also lead on to how do you book your Florida holiday. So I hear you saying that you do a package holiday, and we very rarely do package holidays because something I will do throughout most of the year, which might be sad, but I enjoy it, is actually searching for flights, hotels, and looking at different reviews, and pretty much planning the next holiday. So we've always got a 0% credit card on the go, and we always have a monthly allowance that we're going to save every month. And that pot usually is negative, but we try and build up a pot so that when some flights come in really cheap, we just go ahead and book it. Quite often we haven't got enough, and we put it on a 0% credit card. And then we will pay for the flights, and that will be our fixed dates for holiday. What we do find then is we'll pay them flights off, and then we'll look at booking the hotel. But you might find that through package holidays you can negotiate a bit of price, but in our eyes, and I'm not saying package holiday is bad, but in our eyes, we're thinking that the middleman has got to make their cut. Yes. We usually find that when you do a package holiday, it's usually more expensive than if you book individually. That's just what we've found.
Does it all depend on what type of holiday you're after? Because we only ever book package holiday, and I know most of you out there within the chat watching this right now see the benefits to booking it individually. But there was something that happened to us when we booked with Virgin back in 17, when Hurricane Irma hit, and Virgin massively looked after us. And I think what worries me is if I don't book this package, will I get the same level of service or protection? Like, I guess the point I made wasn't too clear there, but there's something about booking a package holiday that gives me or gives us a little bit of comfort. But then we've never done like booking it individually. But we have some friends that recommend it because you can get a better deal. And it all depends what type of holiday that you're after. Because as I mentioned earlier, when we were going to go in May, everything was budget. Everything was how cheap can we get it? Even the flight, the hotel, food. Like another way that we save money is going to Walgreens or places like that and buying stuff to put in our hotel. And I think maybe some of you, when you first arrive in Florida, perhaps you do that initial shop, especially if you're saving in a villa. Like, has anyone else done that? Is that a thing?
Oh yeah, you got to go get.
Yeah, that's our Sorry, Ben.
No, it's okay.
That's our first night tradition. Actually, is we land and we check into our villa and we will make our way to Walmart as soon as we've kind of got into the villa. We'll spend about half an hour just kind of putting suitcases in the right place, back in the car, straight to Walmart. That's our first night, without shadow of a doubt. It just saves us so much money in respect of having breakfast in there. We'll spend some evenings in the villa, just in the pool, enjoying our own company, so that we're not kind of bombarded by the parks. It just makes sense. And then you can obviously refrigerate your drinks and actually take them with you to the park as well. Sneak the odd bottle of water in. And it just saves a little bit of money that way as well.
Yeah, no, I massively agree. Definitely.
Money saving tip there.
Yeah.
Well, money saving tip there is taking, and we got it off you guys, Del, and that's to take your little squeezy bottles of concentrated juice and go and grab your sort of free water, bit of juice in there, shake it around, and you got yourself free drink. Save $4.
Mate, Jen loved those freaking juice things. We saved an absolute ton by doing that. So yeah, I massively agree. Take your own bottles of water, take your own containers, get the squeegee juice. I mean, what Disney charges roughly $5 to $6. Which wait, Ben, I know that you was going to say something just a moment ago about that. So go for it, bud. It's all on you.
Oh, excuse me. No, I was the same as Gareth was saying that we go Target, Walmart first night just to fill up on stuff for breakfast, snacks, all the little things that you'd buy that cost you a lot more in the parks. It's just easier to throw it in a bag, take it with you. Because sometimes you don't want to have a full meal or some fries. You just want a little snack to keep you going, an apple or something, until you want to eat later on. Just little bits to save that little bit of money, because we all know how expensive it gets in the parks.
Absolutely. This comment here just quickly reminds me, Garden Grocer, we get all of our water and snacks delivered to our room, and add juice. Like, I think that's we've never used it ourselves, but that's definitely something that we would look to in the future, is having stuff delivered to us. But then Jen and I are quite, we have, like Gareth mentioned earlier, holiday traditions. So like Gareth was saying that when he first arrives in Florida, he'll go to Walmart and go, do that sort of initial first food shop. Like, I forgot where I was going with this point, by the way. It was going somewhere. It's just gone. I was going to say, we only have like just over 10 minutes left. I wanted to keep it real sort of quick and short. So if anyone's got any sort of money saving tips, then just literally fire away. In fact, I can see Tinkertails is saying we used Garden Grocer last time and they were brilliant. Another vote for that. Was it Robson family? Don't forget to get your free ice water for quick service locations. Nice. In fact, that's what I was going to touch upon. Snack credits at Disney. How do you use them? What's the best way to maximize, that value in that snack? Because we never get water or drinks with it. We always get food, and which in America as well, the portions are so big, we just share most meals. Surely that can't be us.
I wasn't going to say anything.
Outrageous. Right, bear with moi. So, Moffat Family Adventure, what's up, guys? They're saying buy water in bulk from Walmart and freeze the bottles of water to take into the parks. I think that's a great idea. That's definitely something that we've done. Definitely.
They've missed something out there.
What have they missed?
You should be like buying loads of Cheetos and get orange fingers and orange lips, and then you can save money. That's my first night tradition. It's like, Cheetos. I want M&Ms and Cheetos.
Mate, I wish you could hear Jen's downstairs. She's just giggling away. Whatever's going on, she's laughing her freaking socks off. Timo Sullivan is saying we've shared meals as well. That's what we do. I'd mainly more than Jen, but yeah, it works out well for me. She can have scraps. Tracy's saying just to ask for free water when you don't have to carry heavy frozen bottles. That's true. Yeah, and someone mentioned actually that water over there tastes a bit funny from their taps. I mean, I've never experienced that before, but you know, each their own. Waldy's World Cheetos are a must, and caramel M&Ms.
Yeah, boy. That's how we roll. That's all I've got to say.
Exactly right. Bear with me a second, guys. I just want to take this opportunity to say thank you for everyone that's here in the chat. It's been a bit of a mixture, isn't it? First time Will here live right now, Gareth, Ben, and Will. And you know, I got this picture, and I just wanted to take just a couple of seconds just to show this picture because it means a lot to me right now. It makes a lot of sense right now, especially with what this week is. So it makes sense. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Oh, let me take the banner off real quick. Rookie error down in the comments. But as you can see, that's Robin Williams and what week it is. So he's saying, you're only given one little spark of madness. You mustn't lose it, Robin Williams. So I guess with everything that's going on, just take the time to reach out to people and, you know, make those connections. You know, you're only here once. You know, remember what exactly is important. And also remember how to take this off the screen because I've totally forgotten. Anything can happen when you are alive. So yeah, the point I was making is just that, you know, it's great that we are all here. We all have the same passion for Florida and we can openly talk about it. I think it's fantastic. I'm so grateful and lucky that you guys are here. And everyone in the chat as well. The chat has been nuts. I love it. Someone's done a sorry typo. That just kind of got me there. This is literally where we are going wrong. We can't stay away from takeaways. We definitely don't share our food, says our Florida adventure. Saving for Florida is not easy. It's tough.
If you eat out like once a week, you could potentially save yourself. So, I mean, if you go for a sit-down meal, and even if it's at your local pub and you sort of think you're getting a good deal, but if that's like 50 quid for two of you, then before you know it, that's £200 a month that you could be putting in that Florida pot. And when you start adding up those little things, those expenditures, something else we use is an app called Starling. And that shows you, it's got a very intuitive app, and it shows you where you've been spending your money throughout the month. We've got a joint account and we spend everything that we can in the month. And we've got all the bills, all the fuel, Waitrose, Aldi and Lidl shopping. And at the end of the month, you can see where your money's gone. And we both sat down one day and we went, wow, we've spent a lot of money in places that we shouldn't really spend. And that is pretty much how we can save some money. But another thing I wanted to mention as well is Abios. You can save up your Abios or your Virgin Air miles as well. And you can actually get a free flight or an upgrade with that. And I think that's really important. If you can just subscribe to a Tesco's Club card or Tesco's credit card, there's a number of ways that you can save up these points. And this is free money. You don't have to do anything with it.
We like free money, right? Do you remember those coupons on International Drive? The books?
Yes, you pick them up
Right.
every time you go to Walmart.
Seriously, before going to sleep, I was that guy.
Sitting there picking it up.
Discount on Ponderosa. And Crazy Golf. You can always get it on Crazy Golf. Ponderosa and Crazy Golf. I've left Julia's comment on because I can relate to this. I wonder if anyone else can. We went for the first time last year, and we definitely did all the rookie mistakes and paid over the odds. If it's your first time going to Florida, you're bound to. That's a given, isn't it? We're all guilty of it. I know I definitely spent over the odds, but can anyone remember anything when they got home where they thought, Yeah, I should have done that. I should have paid for that. That was a little bit too much. And to
I'll be
help
honest,
you,
I'm so glad I found YouTube before we went, because YouTube just showed us. I know we used to watch people like Florida guy Tim Tracker, and it just showed us so many hints and tips to get there before you go. It was just a world away, and we're so thankful that we found that media before we kind of took that first trip. It did save us money, and we are thankful for every vlogger out there now that we sit and watch, because there's so many tips that we still learning now, because we've only been twice. It's the smallest things make a lot of difference to certain people. So anybody out that is vlogging, from my point of view and Laura's, we just want to thank you, because it's amazing that you can kind of click and learn something so quickly. And that's a massive tip to anybody that kind of is going for the first time, is learn these people and watch these people. They will give you these hints and tips.
Yeah, no, I think that's one of the best points. Yeah, like we made that when we first went to Florida, we was just looking at brochures, the usual travel agent brochures. That's all. I didn't even think back then to use YouTube as a way to find out all this awesome stuff. I didn't realize that there was so much more to Florida than what I could see in these pages in that book. I remember Jen and I made a countdown calendar from all of the Virgin brochures that we had taken. We made like 100 days out of the thing. But Gareth, you're so right. You can literally pick a load of vloggers. You can type in YouTube exactly what you want to see, whether it's a room tour, restaurant, or whatever it is. And those vloggers will give you the tips. That's an outstanding point. I like that a lot.
There was one thing where on our very first trip, we were told by a friend of ours. He'd only been a couple of times himself. He said, when you go to your car, book through Alamo. He said, and when you get there, book the car less than what you want and upgrade it when you get there, because you can really haggle with them and get a good deal. You can't. Just find the best price you can and book that car, because we wanted a Mustang, but they didn't have a Mustang. They had a Camaro, which was still like your American muscle car. And that was the first car that we drove when we was out there. But we'd actually booked a Ford Fusion, which is the equivalent of a Mondeo. And so we'd paid like £350 for this Mondeo. And then when we got there, to upgrade was just an astronomical price. It would have been much cheaper to have searched around and book it back home. So
yeah, massively. And I've got to give you props there, because you're helping us with our car stuff.
I've made a couple of mistakes.
So like Gareth, from what Gareth said, watch YouTubers to find out information. That's what we're doing with Will in terms of finding a good car. So like the point away, it's right here, right now. Ben, you've been pretty quiet this evening. I'm going to pick on you a little, and I want you to help answer Kimberly Brandon's question, which says Florida is a whole other world. It's not a holiday that you can just wing. I don't know. What do you make of that? Is that true?
100% true. You can give it a go without doing the research and go there, but I think you'll come back and realise you've missed a lot off of it. All the parks are massive. There's a lot to do. It's something you really have to plan. And I think that's part of, especially in the community, everyone has so much fun in planning the holiday and sharing their plans. You're doing your fast passes 60 days out, your advanced dining reservations. It's not something you just turn up and say, well, today we're going to go here. Everything has to be put down on paper and off you go, because if not, you're not going to see it all.
Yeah, very, very true. Bear with me one moment. There you go, mate. You answered that. So proud of you. Discord is saying Uber saves you loads of money, no parking fees, and I think it's cheaper than hiring a car, far less stressful. And we get it. Not everyone drives. So I get with Ubers. Plus, if you'd like to have a little bit of an alcoholic beverage, then yeah, definitely getting an Uber can help you. So I think that's a great idea. Especially you can leave in Magic Kingdom, for example. You don't want to have to wait. So I like that a lot. Heck yeah. Kelly, there's a lot more in Florida than just the parks. That is so true. In fact, has anyone here, like Ben, Gareth, Will, have you done anything else that's not in the parks? I knew it. I knew you was going to start saying yeah.
We've been out to Clearwater, and there's a lot more better and a lot more beaches than just Clearwater and Cocoa Beach are the main ones. But you can go down to Petersburg and down to the Keys and so on. But one of the things that we really loved doing was river ventures and swimming with the manatees. That was just fantastic. Where in the world can you go? Of course, Florida, but you can't. Where in the UK can you just jump in the water and go and swim with wildlife? It's never going to happen.
That's very true. Anyone who's not seen it, check out Despicable 3, the Titanic. I think little Jimmy loves the Titanic Museum. Fair play, like respects little Jimmy. He's a superstar in the making, I'm telling you. Check out Despicable 3, that is for sure. Another one coming in from Jack and Kaylee. Myself and wife use the Lyft. Amazing app. Never rush to do everything because it gives you a reason to go back. Here's I said would be half an hour, but let's carry on just for a moment. Gents, can you do everything in Florida if it's your first trip? Can you do it? Is it possible?
No.
There's people here that probably think you can. There are people that probably have never been.
It'd be crazy to try it.
Yeah.
We planned military style. Every day was a brand new park. In fact, when we was in Florida, we wake up and it's not Monday, it's not Tuesday, it's Magic Kingdom Day, it's Universal Studios Day, it's SeaWorld Day, it's this day, it's whatever it is. So Florida is a different holiday to what we've ever experienced before. And anyone who's never been before, like, you're going to love it. My advice right now is wait till next year. You pay a lot of money, you can save a lot of money. Hopefully some of these tips in this video will help you. I know we've gone off on a little bit here and there, but what I'm getting to is it's worth it. It's absolutely worth it. For us, it changed us. It's the one holiday I think I can comfortably say I talk about Florida countless times every day. Every single day, whether we sit down. In fact, this evening we sat and watched some dude walking around Disney Springs with a camera. He didn't even say anything. I was just watching. Like, that's how much I love Florida. I can sit and watch someone who's not even speaking and just be like, Jen, that looks good, doesn't it? Even though we've walked around it 1,000 times before. Absolutely loved it. Sorry, I'm going on a little
I was going to say, do any of you guys have the situation where you sort of tell your boss at work you're going on holiday again and can you book some annual leave? And they say, oh, God, not that Magic Kingdom again. You know, that's what I get. You know, I'll speak to my friends. Some of my family are just sort of sick to death of me just keep going on about Florida. And, oh, in Florida, we can do this. And when we're in the States, we have this food and we go to this place. It's just crazy. But, you know, one thing that I like about Florida as well is we've met some really great people within the community. The YouTube, the social media side of it, we've all met loads of people. And were you pointing for? That way. But yeah, it's really good that we've met some nice people in the community who share the same great passion.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see lots of people are agreeing with you in the chat right now. Before we wrap this up, just a couple more minutes. This is a question for everyone that's in the chat right now, and I'd love to display your answers on this screen. So please get your comments in. The question that we're asking people in the chat is, how much spending money per day do you need? We're asking people in the chat. Who is that? Echo. So that's the question, is how much money do you need, spending money do you need per day? Like for Jen and I as a couple, we try and get, she's laughing again. She giggles down there. For Jen and I, we take $200 per day as a couple, but we can see, I'm going to flick through right now. We're going to start off with Jonathan is saying 200. Despicable 3, 200, lots of 200. Ed is saying $150. I like this answer. Never enough.
So true.
But does anyone else, if you don't spend your daily budget, does anyone else just roll that over to the next day, or do you save it to the last day of Florida? Or the third thing is, do you save it for your next holiday? Interesting.
Depends what day shopping day is.
Yeah.
Depends how quick Laura finds it, Gareth?
It's normally the Disney Springs day or the Florida Mall day, I'll be honest. Florida Mall is normally about halfway through the holiday. Disney Springs is always our last day. So between the two, kind of any rollover does tend to get spent within them 2 days, I would imagine. So yeah, Laura does love a shop. So
Wait, question: is Laura a fan of Bath and Body Works?
Yeah, I'm too much of a fan of Bath and Body Works, unfortunately.
All I ever hear is, whatever shopping centre it is, and then, if they've got a Bath and Body Works. Whereas me, I'm like, what's the food options?
Yeah.
You can see some people, Stuart Smith is saying about 100, depending if you're buying food. That's a great question and you're right, because in Disney, for example, a table service meal could, even as a couple, can set you back over $100 with tip quite easily. So do you budget as in you're spending money for snacks or a souvenir, or are you taking into account that meal as well? Because I would argue that $100, including food, might be quite a stretch. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think it depends on how many of you there are as well, isn't it? Obviously, trips I've been on, you came for a family of 4. So we budget $200 a day. That's for the food as well. And like you say, anything that's left over rolls over for the next day. You might go a little bit more crazy that day and then see what you're left with by the end of it. But nothing ever comes back.
Yeah. And I think, it's true, isn't it?
Nothing ever comes back.
It's like there are people that save it for another holiday. I totally get it. I respect it. But we're very much the same. For us, it just rolls over to the next day. Unless there's something I really, really want. Like I love my my art, like my signed pictures from Disney, stuff like that. Tower of Terror, I've got a massive sore spot for. But yeah, you're right. None of it comes back. And all these snacks that are available in Florida, I love them all. I can't help it. It's just the best. They're absolutely the best. Absolutely. Right. Let me get rid of this. So, gents, this evening, let me get rid of the banner. So this evening, we've had a chat about how we save money for Florida. I could not have done this without Gareth, without Will, and Ben as well from Adventures with Zach. Thank you all so much. Like, the comments have been amazing. And we've got to take this moment to say, Gareth, honestly, mate, what a pleasure for your good self to see you back on the screens.
Can't wait to see him again.
Thank you for the invite, and thank you to Will and Ben as well for being supportive throughout it. It's been a pleasure, and I'm sure if the invite is there, I'll be back again. Thank you very so much.
Absolutely. You're more than welcome. This is what we do. It is a community, and that's what we enjoy doing. We love talking about things that make us happy. That is literally it. So everyone in the chat, thank you ever so much for what you guys are doing, for being here, for getting involved. I love it. Absolutely love it. Wherever you're watching in the world, take care, you lovely lot. Love and respect from Will, Gareth, and Ben.
Guys.
Hey, goodbyes.